I don't even know what to say at this point. Um, it's it's just, gosh, man, just complete, just utter horribleness, embarrassing, whatever you want to call it. Just utterly terrible franchise that we currently we are fans of. Um, my goodness, man. To lose to the New York Jets, who were 0-7 heading into the game, and to let them score 39 points is truly unbelievable to me. It's genuinely impressive how bad this football team is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we were talking how last week, we had some hope, and then immediately it's completely gone. Not even
Immediately, this is what they
like
do.
a week later, just completely taken away. Um, and it goes back to, everything that we've been saying for year now, basically. Um, and we'll reiterate that. But what were your reactions to the just horrible dog crap performance that was Sunday's game?
I mean, it just
There's no words.
I'm trying to like figure out what I want to start with. Outrageous, like just genuinely outrageous. This is unacceptable. This is absolutely unacceptable. This is a this is a crime of the highest order. This is like I literally I unacceptable. It's just that's what it is. It's unacceptable, and I'm just gonna continue to beat this just outrageously dead horse. I mean, it's the same story every
The horse
week.
is rotting at this point.
Yeah, by the time we get to the end of this season, there is no horse. We will need to get a new one and kill it again. Like, I mean, it's the same story, but I mean, like, I just don't understand how we come off that Thursday night performance, all right, where it's like, hey, we played pretty well on both sides of the ball. We have put ourselves back in this playoff picture. Like, we're alive. Joe Flacco's playing really well. We've got momentum. We have a favorable schedule ahead of us. Like, we are alive again. And literally fall like the very next week, coming off of a break, mind you, like that the mini bye. We played on Thursday against the Steelers, so we had extra time off to prepare for the completely defeated Jets. This 0-7 Jets team is coming to Cincinnati. And this was the same crap that we saw all season last season. Our offense put 38 points on the board, and we lost to the winless Jets. And mind you, the quarterback that they started was not going to start. The Jets were going to bench Justin Fields because he was playing so badly. But the guy they were going to start got hurt. So they had to put Fields back in, and then he goes and wins the game. Breece Hall had the game of his career against the Bengals. What do you have? 2 touchdowns and 1 passing or something like that?
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns and 133 yards.
I mean, he had the game of his career. This was, I think that this was probably the most unacceptable loss that I've seen in Bengals. Like, since I have been like a conscious Bengals fan, I think that this might genuinely be one of the most unacceptable losses in franchise history that I've seen. I don't know what your thoughts are on that take, but this is like that game was just utterly like disgusting. It was just absolutely just terrible. I don't even have a word for what that game was. Like, there is nothing that can encompass that game. The defense is like literally an abomination to the sport. Like I cannot I don't have enough bad things to say about this Bengals defense. like I would rather have a junior high defense. I just would. I mean, these guys clearly don't know how. I don't know how some of these guys are in the NFL. And the part that makes it so much worse is that we spent how many draft picks on defense over the past couple seasons? I
A lot.
mean, yeah, like that. See, that just goes to show the absolute incompetence of this front office. And we've talked about this at length over the last year, but this front office is completely and utterly incompetent. They just cannot do their jobs. They cannot do it. They can't do it. And I mean, to be truthfully honest with you, my knee jerk reaction from this game was somebody better not be allowed back in this building by Monday. Somebody needs to be fired because that was just absolute inexcusable, unacceptable. That game was a fireable offense of the highest order. I that was just absolutely terrible. That front office, like that our GM and our scouting department, and I said this in our group chat earlier, the GM and the scouting department need to be shipped to a different country now. Those guys should be banned from the city of Cincinnati. Zach Taylor, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't even know what to think about this because we fired Lou Anarumo, and I said this earlier, but even more clearly now, he was not the problem. The problem is our players. And Zach Taylor runs the offense, and the offense has got their crap together now. Joe Flacco still played pretty well. The offense put 38 points up. So the offense is not the issue. Once again, that's why this game was just this was a game straight from last year, So that's why I am still I don't know what to think about Zach Taylor still because this offense is going. And as a coach, you can only do so much with the absolute and utter just waste that you have on defense, you know? So that's why I don't even know what to think about Zach Taylor anymore at this point. I don't know if I'm like on the fire train. I don't know if I'm on the fence right now. I just don't know. But I do know with full certainty that GM and that scouting department need to never be allowed back in the Bengals building. Never. Those guys have just destroyed this football team. This was unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. 39 points. I think we're out of the playoff picture now.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't
if we
know.
can't beat the Jets, who are we going to beat?
That's
That was
exactly.
the
I mean, if
one
we
game that
can't
I
beat
was
the
like, we
Jets,
should win that game.
yeah. I mean, and this is the same crap every year. Every single year, we drop at least one game to a team that we have no business losing to. Every year, it happens at least once. This was that game so far this year, I guess. I don't know. It's just, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I've talked for 8 minutes now about this, and uh, to be honest with you, I think what sums up my entire discourse right now is just abysmal, outrageous, unacceptable. Somebody has to be fired. Somebody needs to go now. Your
I
turn.
wholeheartedly agree. And I'm just going to give you some extremely alarming stats about just how horrible the front office of this football team is. Okay. Are you ready?
Alarming.
All right. So we're going to start on the offensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
The last time that the Bengals signed a offensive lineman that they drafted to a second contract was Clint Bowling in 2015. It's been 10 years since they re-signed a offensive lineman that they drafted. That is terrible.
That clearly
That
shows
is
we don't know how to draft linemen.
exactly. That is awful. In 10 years, you don't have one guy who's good enough to get a second contract. Are you kidding me? You would think you would at least hit on one of them.
You would think.
And yeah. And now here's the most alarming one. So since 2022, the Bengals have used 10 of their top 100 draft picks on defense. And this is tied for the most in the NFL during that period with the Cardinals and the Eagles. And they currently rank dead last in every category statistically. And here are the names of the people that we have drafted: Dax
Mhm.
Hill, Cam Taylor Britt, Zachary Carter, Miles Murphy, DJ Turner, Jordan Battle, Chris Jenkins, McKinley Jackson, Shamar Stewart, Demetrius Knight. I
I
can
would
maybe
say
name you
6 to
two or
8 of
three
them.
of those guys who are like good to decent players.
I would say 6 to 7 of those guys are just certified busts.
Yes.
A couple of them aren't even on our team.
No,
That Zachary Carter guy, is he even on our team anymore?
no, we cut him like 2 years after we drafted him.
That was a 3rd round pick.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Like, what?
And
How?
and their last two draft, their two of their last three draft picks have been on the defensive line, and it's been Miles Murphy and Shamar Stewart, who to this point
Busts,
have done
both of them.
absolutely nothing. It's truly phenomenal how you can put so much into the defense and miss every single time.
Dude,
Like
it's so
constantly
it's
miss.
so bad to where it's like they have to be doing this on purpose. How do you miss this bad this many times? Like this is the equivalent to me getting a 0 on like a science exam. Like
Yeah.
a 0. Like if I walk in there and I take a science exam and I get a 0 on that exam, that means about 99% certainty that I knew at least some of the correct answers on that test, and I purposefully marked them wrong.
Yeah, you could guess a couple right.
Exactly. And so it's like that's how bad this drafting is. It's like you guys have to be doing like I feel like that they are trying to be bad. And I've said this before, but it's so terrible where like they have to be trying to be bad because that is how terrible the way we do business. I mean, we don't sign like we're cheap as balls. We don't sign players. We don't draft well, and that goes on top of the scouting. So it's like it's like the Cincinnati Bengals organization is just a perfect storm of complete god awfulness. Like, and it is just so immaculately bad that I'm like, they have to be doing this on purpose, you know.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you whiff so terribly with some of these draft picks. I mean, these are first, second, and third round picks. If anything, those are the ones you have to hit on. If you whiff on a 6th or a 7th rounder, all right, you know, whatever. It's a 6th or a 7th rounder. The chances of you whiffing are higher than them hitting. Okay, but a first, second, and third rounder, those are the
You have
picks
to
that
hit on all of those.
you have to hit those. And it's insane. It really is insane. I I genuinely think that the analogy that I just gave of me purposefully tanking a science exam is the most like realistic thing. I mean, it's so terrible. They have to be doing this on purpose.
Yeah. Well, and their problem is they're drafting guys with these high picks who had like little to maybe average college production.
Mm-hmm.
And they're expecting them to come into the NFL and light the world on fire. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, the NFL is a lot harder than college football. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to be good in college, you're probably not going to be good in the NFL.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for you to draft a guy who was terrible at rushing the passer, throw him on an NFL roster and expect him to be a good pass rusher. That's not how that works. You know, unless you
Our
just have
first round.
some magician of a defensive line coach or defensive coordinator that can just get every ounce of potential out of them. And obviously the Bengals don't have that because nobody they've drafted has been good. but they draft these guys thinking like, "Oh, we can mold them into being these good players." Well, it's like, well,
Yeah.
if they're not a good player to begin with, you're not gonna be able to mold them into anything.
I mean,
Like,
especially the Bengals. Like, the Bengals are
yeah,
just the worst franchise in all of sports. So you really think that you're gonna that them of any franchise is gonna be able to take nothing and turn it into something? Like, you would say, like, "Oh, okay," like a really good coach, like, um, Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, guys like that. You're like, all right, they could probably take a whatever dude and turn him into something. Not the Bengals. We don't do anything well, so we should at least help ourselves out and take proven good players.
yeah. Which you would think would be the first thing that they do. But, like, I know Shamar Stewart's only played, what, like, 3 or 4 games?
Dude, he had like
But,
2 sacks in his entire college career. Why
yeah,
are we drafting him to be our dominant edge rusher?
his entire career had 4.5 sacks. The amount of times that I've watched the film and I've seen him running away from the play or, like, running in circles basically is unbelievable,
Like, what is he
and
doing? Why is he on the field? Like,
I don't know. And it's like and here's to come up with, how bad this defensive line is. So the Jets have one of the lowest pass block ratings because they were 0-7. Not players not named Trey Hendrickson combined for 2 pressures the entire game on 155 opportunities. That's a win rate of 1.3%. The league average is 10%, and they won on 1.3. They were
so
better
we
not
are
even being on the field.
so we are 9% below the league average.
This game we were, and most of the season, I think, yes. Like, they're completely and utterly useless at rushing the passer. Useless at rushing the
And they
passer.
aren't any good at stopping the run game either. Brees Hall
Well,
had the game of
obviously
his
not.
life.
We let freaking Isaiah Davis average 9 yards a carry.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
know who he
bad.
was until 2 weeks ago
I did
when
not
he
know
was when he
that
was the
stat.
top waiver wire ad on fantasy football. That's the only
Oh,
reason I know who that guy is. And he
dude,
averaged 9 yards a carry against our defense.
I did not know that stat. That is
And you know
really bad.
what's even worse is we draft these linebackers and they can't even do what linebackers can do. They can't tackle. They can't tackle people.
We couldn't
I don't
tackle
know.
last year.
I don't know how we're talking about an NFL team that is having problems tackling people. That's like the minute you step foot on a football field from 8th grade, you learn form tackling.
I
And
know.
I know that these are the best athletes in the world, but you are also one of the best athletes in the world. You should be able to make an open field tackle.
Yeah.
But they literally take the worst pursuit angles. They just
Mhm,
whiff on tackles constantly.
mhm.
And it's just like let me see if I can
No
find the
one
stat.
wraps up, mind you. No
No,
one
they just
actually
arm
wraps up on
tackle.
the tackle. They just arm tackle or they just kind of throw their shoulder at somebody and then they miss because the guy, oh wow, he stepped that way and made a move. Like
Yeah.
it, it,
Okay.
it oh,
So Demetrius Knight has had 7 missed tackles in the last 2 games.
that is
And he's
really
supposed to be the guy when the hole opens up, he's the first one there. And he can't make an open field tackle,
that's so
which just makes absolutely no sense how I can't
whatever
even wrap my
happened.
brain I can't wrap my head around how you can be an NFL player and struggle tackling. I
Like
don't
whatever
understand
happened to
that.
that Eagles linebacker we signed? Oren Burks was his name or whatever.
He played a little bit. But
Is
I
he
think
any good?
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of them, but I think they're trying to get the young guys to play and get them to develop.
I mean, dude, it's just like like the the things that you have just pointed out about this defense are like it's genuinely like issues that like you would see at a junior high or like a freshman level.
Yeah. Okay. I
Like
have another.
like
I have another stat. You can
you
continue
are
talking. Let me just-
averaging 9 yards a carry. That is, I mean, you are never going to win a football game letting that up. Never. Like
Yeah.
the whole, two pressures on pass rush, that is just beyond horrible. But dude, 9 yards on average in the run game, that is like, these guys should genuinely not be starting in the NFL if they're gonna let that up. That is that is so terrible. And
Yeah.
then the missed tackles is just straight fun. I mean, that's just like day one fundamentals.
Yeah. All right, here's their tackling stat. All right. They have missed 81 tackles this season, which is
And we
most in the
played 8 games.
NFL. Yes. The second highest is 56.
Wow.
They've missed almost 30 more tackles than the second highest team.
Like, we didn't, well, I mean, to be truthfully honest with you, we were saying this in the offseason. We didn't actually do anything like
Yeah.
to our team. You know, we drafted a couple guys, but like, I remember me and you were talking about this going into like the preseason. Like, when you actually think about it, we didn't really do like we didn't really make any changes to this roster. And
We signed 2 players defensively, both who had been like okay players on their other teams.
yeah, yeah, and then we drafted a couple of busts. So it's like, I mean, it's like we said in the preseason, we didn't actually make any changes to this roster. And so, I mean, the stats you were just reading off, 9 yards of carry, 2 pressures, 81 missed tackles. I mean, that's all like that. We saw that last year because it's the same freaking team. We didn't change anything. It's just, I mean, we have literally trotted out the exact same team minus Joe Burrow, insert Joe Flacco, and we've said, have at it, and we're going to hope for some different results. Like, that's what we did. We have put the exact same product on the field, and we are expecting different results. It, like, what, I mean, do you have an explanation for that?
It's
How does that
just
make sense?
it's just complete just incompetence from the front office to only to especially after the season they had last year, where they were
Mhm.
the best offense in the NFL, ruined a triple crown season from their wide receiver and a perennial MVP season from their best quarterback. And they're like, all right, well, to fix the defense, we're going to hire a new defensive coordinator. We're going to sign 2 average players and then draft one guy who had minimal production in college and then overdraft 2 other guys.
Mhm.
And then they're like, all right, well, this should really make a huge difference. And you look at it from a common sense perspective and you're like, how in the world do you think like Al Golden is some like just defensive wizard that can just immediately make these horrible players good? No, that nobody can do that. And
Oh.
obviously the defensive coordinator isn't a problem because Lou Anarumo, like you said, is out in Indianapolis and they're 7-1 and their defense
Mhm.
looks phenomenal.
Mhm.
And Al Golden comes in and they're last in every single statistical category defensive wise.
And keep in
And
mind, Al Golden had Notre Dame's defense as one of the best defenses in the nation last year. So
yeah,
it's
so
not the
I'm
coach.
not putting this on Al Golden. It's just that he has little to no talent. Like
No.
outside of Trey Hendrickson, like I think we talked about this either a couple weeks ago or some other time. We said like
Mhm.
outside of Trey Hendrickson, is there anybody on this defense that an average football player or average football fan would know or would even be on the team in 2 or 3 years? And I would say
No, there's
not a
not.
lot.
No. And it really is disappointing. And, it's like, I mean, we just proved this. It is not the coaching. Like, it is just simply our players suck horribly. Like, that is the issue. Our players are terrible at football. Like, we have horrendous football players on our defense. That's the issue. It's not the coaches. Louis Anarumo's a good DC. Al Golden's a good DC. It's not the coaches. Our players suck. That's the problem. And guess whose fault that is?
Front office.
Yep.
Well, and also another thing with the front office is Duke Tobin. I don't even know what his role is. He's like a pseudo GM. He speaks like twice a year, and then you never see him again.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, well, like I don't, like to be honest, I don't know what he really does.
No, I
Like
don't
he
know, but
doesn't
I'm pretty
handle the
sure.
contracts. He probably handles the draft, but if he handles the draft, he should be out the door right now. Like you said, he
Oh,
should be
yeah.
exiled from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you look at the list of draft picks since 2020, they've hit on four. And that's Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, which a blind person could make,
Uh-huh.
T. Higgins, and Chase Brown. The rest of them have been either bad or are like decent, you
Or,
know?
yeah, like, meh, you know?
And and it's like I'm not a scout or a draft guru and stuff, but you know, we do a decent amount of draft content
Mhm.
comes the season. And I look back
Yeah.
at the video that I made where I gave my top 5 targets for who the Bengals should get. I think 75% of those players are making instant impacts for their respective teams.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it's like, okay, obviously it's not that hard because if
no.
I'm sitting here in my room saying that you should get these guys and a decent amount of those guys are still there when you're picking and you don't
Mhm.
select them and they go to a different team and are immediately good and you're stuck with the dude who sucks, it's like what I don't like. Can you just use common sense, watch the film and be like, okay, this guy is a good football player and not this guy is athletically a freak, but really isn't that great of a football player.
Yeah, exactly.
We've
I
seen
mean,
in the NFL when you draft on just athleticism and tangibles,
it
it
does not
tends to
work.
not work out. But
Mhm.
you draft guys on just pure ability, it tends to
Mhm.
work out, which, you know, I mean, that should be the most common sense thing ever. If the guy's good at football, he's going to be good at football. That
Yeah,
I
you would
mean,
think.
who
Yeah,
cares if he runs a 4.2 and has the longest arms known to man? If he can't rush the passer, who cares? He could
exactly.
have like 9 feet arms, and if he can't
Mhm.
touch the quarterback, it doesn't matter.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's just like they just draft guys who are not, I mean, they're just they don't have any college production. Like,
No,
it
yeah.
seems like you just draft guys who have produced at the highest level before the NFL. You don't
Mhm.
draft guys who have shown maybe a few flashes. And like you said, like the Bengals are going to get the most out of their players. They've never gotten the most out of their players. They're not like these great franchises, you know, like the Rams, who don't have a first round pick for 4 years and built a great defense off of fourth round picks, you know?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
that just they're just never gonna do that. And
No,
so
absolutely not,
I
no.
don't know if maybe they think too highly of themselves that they can do stuff, but we talked about this in the offseason. They weren't in a position to draft a project guy, you know?
No.
They were in
No.
the position to draft a guy who could immediately come in and make a difference because Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are in their primes and
Mhm.
you don't want to waste that. And once again, the defense is wasting it. And
Mhm.
it's just you look back at the offseason and you're like, yeah, you did nothing to fix the defense. So why would you expect the defense to be any better? You did
Mhm.
absolutely nothing to fix it. So there should have been no expectations heading into the season that the defense would be any better at all.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here week 8 and we're having the same conversation we had a year ago. And
Mhm.
it's just mind-boggling. I'm tired of having this conversation of just constantly ripping the front office and just repeating ourselves constantly. I think that's
Yeah.
probably 75% of the videos that we've posted on this channel have been us talking about this exact same thing,
Yeah, because
and
but
it
there's
probably
really,
will not change.
yeah, because they won't change. Like, there's nothing, like, what we are talking about, that's the issue, but it just won't get fixed, because they won't do it. I don't know why, but they just won't. It's beyond me, it really is. And, the thing that's the most, like, disappointing is that literally dudes that are not even like like pe- people that do not hold positions in NFL franchises are sitting there like studying and like watching football and saying like, hey, this would be a good guy to pick, and this is a guy who will probably be there when we pick. Like there are guys that do not do that for a job, that are sitting there and doing that, and what they are saying is more correct than what the Bengals are actually doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am fully confident that I personally could run this franchise better than how it's being run. And I am fully confident that you could go in there and be the better GM. Like, like, I, I have like full confidence that we could go in there and run that franchise better than it's being run right now. Because at the end of the day, is it really that freaking difficult? I mean, we're sitting here at home like doing off-season research on these guys, and guess who's there when we are up to draft? Guess who's on the board? The guys that we marked. And guess who ends up actually making a difference immediately for their teams? Those guys. So it's like, is it really that hard? Like, I feel like to other franchises, it's really not. I mean, like you said, the Rams built probably a top 10 defense in the NFL with fourth through seventh round picks over a 2 or 3 year span. Like, is it really that difficult?
Yeah,
I
and we're
mean,
struggling to leave a draft with one, like, hit.
that's what I'm saying. Like, is it really all that hard? Like, watch football. If that guy is good at football, then take him. Like, you don't need to draft this guy because wow, he's 6'8", 400 pounds, and runs a 4.1. Like, I don't care if you throw the tape on and he's not good at football, don't draft him. Like, g- guys that have all the physical attributes but are not good in the college game, that's a bust. That is dang near a bona fide bust because they're so attractive because they have all the physical tools, but they are not good at the game of football. You know, that's what teams would call a bust. Teams are like, oh crap, this guy's a physical freak. Let me take him. But he sucks at football. That's a bust. Like, draft the guy who doesn't have the physical attributes, but is good at football. You know, like that's why I say the combine is whatever. Like the combine does not mean anything because like if 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 this was like a professional track league, then the combine is the biggest thing. But this is not a professional track league. This is football. Like there are guys that are really physically talented but just aren't good at football. You know? It's that's why I'm saying, is it really that hard? Like just watch football and take the guys that are good. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just my thing is when we're sitting here and we are saying, "Hey, there's 5 guys that are probably going to be there at pick 15. Any of these 5 guys are good players. They would be good fits for our team and they will probably be there at pick 15 just for sake of discussion. Pick 15 comes around, 3 of those 5 guys are there. And then on top of that, the team like on top of that when the season comes around those 3 guys end up playing very well on the teams they're on. It's like, okay, like I mean, clearly we were right. So it's like, is it really that difficult? We're sitting here doing this for free on
Yeah.
in our spare time. This is not our full time. This is not our full time job. These guys spend probably 10 hours a day doing this crap. Like, is it really that difficult?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it probably goes back to they have, like, what, 4 scouts in their team or something?
that's another issue. The GM's terrible. Katie Blackburn is awful, and we have 4 scouts. Like, that is the issue. Katie Blackburn should never be allowed to own a business. Never.
So here, I'm looking at our, like, personnel. So we have a scouting executive, we have a scout, we have a scouting executive, we have 2 scouts, and then we have a scouting research analyst, and that's it. And I
Do
just
you
looked
really
up
think
the average, like, NFL team, how many scouts they have is 10. We have 3 to 4.
like, do you really think that those 3 to 4 guys are gonna be able to get the job done? Clearly, they aren't. And secondly, like, Katie Blackburn, you just take a look at the other 31 teams, okay? And you say, well, how are they doing it? Like, how do they organize their front office? Okay. All right. Well, the Patriots have 12 scouts, the Chiefs have 10, the Rams have 10, the Lions have 11. Like, when you go around and look at all these other teams and say, okay, all these other teams have at least 10 scouts, why would you think it's okay to have four? It's like, dude, honestly, like Katie Blackburn and the ownership family, just freaking look at the other 10. Cut that out. Just okay, Katie Blackburn and the rest of the ownership. Just take a look at the other 31 teams. Okay. And you look and say, hey, which teams are the best teams? All right. Chiefs, Rams, Bills, um, Ravens usually. Let's see, who else is year in and year out? One of the Eagles. Yeah, just heck, those 5 teams right there. I would say those are 5 of the best teams in the NFL on a yearly basis. Okay. So you look at them and say, hey, I wonder how they do. Like, how do they do things around here? How do they have their front office set up? How many scouts do they have? You know, what does the GM do for them? How much of a say do the coaches have in the offseason um, uh, transactions? Like, just look at the teams that are having success every single year and just do what they're doing. Like, we've got the foundation. We've got Burrow and Chase and Higgins, but you've got to build around that. And just look at the other teams that are having success every year and just do what they're doing. Because obviously it works.
Yeah. Well, I made a video, like, right after the Super Bowl that explained, and I talked about how the Bengals can use what the Eagles did as a blueprint to, get to that level, and I talked about a lot of the same things that you were talking about. Um, but it's crazy, like, in that video, and we've talked about it, because of the contracts that they gave out, which I'm on board for,
Yeah.
if I were in the shoes, I would have paid T and Jamar. The reality is that limits what you can do to kind of fill out the rest of the roster.
Hmm.
And so the only way to really do that effectively is to nail the draft.
Hmm.
And we talked about that when those signings were made. And that just has to be a thing that you do. And if you don't, we're going to be sitting like this year in and year out where the offense is just putting up numbers. And I mean, and then the defense is just better off not even walking onto the field. And it just really, it comes down to, just hitting on your draft picks. And you don't have to hit on all 7. If you hit on 3, that's 3 guys on an 11-man defense that you can plug and play.
And you got free
And
agency.
yeah. And
Well,
so
limited amount. I mean, limited money, but you still have
yeah,
some.
yeah. And so, you know, you just have to hit on a couple of them, but we usually hit on 0 to 1. like I saw something, it was a picture of the 3rd round when we drafted Jermaine Burton, and a lot of the players after him are still on the team and are, like, rotational quality players, and Jermaine Burton's been a healthy scratch the entire season. Like, that's a wasted 3rd round pick, and you just
That's
can't waste those,
no,
you know?
no.
You just can't throw those in the trash. And, like,
Mm-mm.
Zachary Carter, wasted 3rd round pick,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Mhm.
and it's like, honestly, really every year outside of 2023 when they drafted Amarius Mims,
Yeah.
like, I wasn't expecting them to draft Dax Hill. He wasn't even on my radar. Myles Murphy wasn't even on my radar. Shamar Short wasn't even on my radar. Like, I wasn't expecting them to draft any of those guys. Mims, I was looking at because I do think he's good.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
he's turned out to be pretty good.
yeah, but it's just crazy. Like, their scouting process is obviously different than mine. Um, But yeah,
Very.
it's just a crazy. I have one more ridiculous stat that I want to throw out.
Boy.
So, when the Bengals score 38 plus points in their first 56 seasons of existence, they're 54 and 4. In the last 2 seasons, they're 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's
You
insane.
shouldn't you should never lose a football game when you're scoring 40 points.
No,
I'm
absolutely.
sorry. You
So, I
just
mean,
you
I
shouldn't.
think I think what I'm hearing then is the defense that we have fielded these last 2 years is the worst in franchise history, maybe the worst in NFL history.
Well, yeah, I would say so. I mean, here, I'll read you. All right. Points, opponent points per game, 32nd. Opponent yards per game, 32nd. Opponent points per play, 32nd. Yards per play, 32nd. Third down conversion, 31st. Red zone scoring, 30th. Touchdowns per game, 32nd. They're legitimately last in every statistical category defensively. So yeah, it would make sense that they are the worst defense the franchise has ever seen. And that includes a year where they won 1 game, maybe 2 games. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
like
Dude, I mean,
they're
I'm telling you, man, our defense this last 2 years, like, might be the worst ever. Not even just franchise, like, this might be the worst defense ever assembled in football.
I mean, Justin Fields, let me look at his game log. All right, Justin Fields heading into this game had 46 yards against the Panthers
Wow.
and 0 touchdowns. The Panthers are not a great football team.
No.
Then against us, he has 244 yards and a touchdown. And then against Dallas, he played well because Dallas defense is terrible. And then he had a solid game against the Dolphins too. Also a bad
Also
defense.
suck. Yeah. It's honestly just embarrassing, to be honest with you. If
They
I
scored 6 points against the Panthers a week before. 6 points. The Panthers, I watched that game. Andy Dalton looked like he'd never played football in his life. They lost by 40 to the Bills. Andy Dalton fumbled the ball 10 times and threw 4 picks, it felt like. He was inept at playing football. And that team that just lost to those guys beat us. Off of, mind you, a touchdown thrown by the running back. Not even the quarterback. The running back threw the game-winning touchdown. The
and
running
their
back.
rookie tight end mossed one of our DBs in the back corner of the end zone on that play from
Yeah.
the running back, mind you.
Yeah. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
Dude, yeah, I would not feel too out there in saying this is the worst defense ever assembled in football history, NFL history.
Yeah, it's
Like,
pretty bad.
I don't know if that's too crazy to say. To be honest with you, I really don't. It's like if
Yeah.
I was a part of this organization, like, it's just flat out embarrassing. It's really what it is. Like, I don't understand how you are a part of that organization and you're not just like absolutely embarrassed at the performances that you have been putting out there. I mean, like you literally just said, I laughed when you said it, but you're not too far off. This defense is better off not even stepping foot on the field. Like, I
I mean,
mean,
if you're gonna be last in every category, you might as well put a door on the defensive line, and they would do more.
I know. Like, I mean, seriously though, like they're last in every category. You might as well not step foot on the field. I mean, that's pretty much what we see every week. Who is going to who's going to score more points? That's what it is. And I mean, it is our offense versus our opponent's team. That's what it is. It's Burrow and Chase just hoping they can put 70 points on the board. Because our
And even
defense,
that's not usually enough.
I know,
They put
like
up
our
dang near 50 against the Ravens last year. It's still lost
both
twice.
guys. Yeah, our defense, I mean, those guys should not even like be in the NFL, to be truthfully honest with you. How much do you want to bet that a handful of our current starters on defense, much like our 2021 offensive line, like if we were to cut them, they would genuinely not be in the NFL. Like nobody else in the NFL would pick them up if we dropped them to waivers. Like how much do you want to
I
bet?
think there would be more players that would find their way on like a backup role than there was from that 2021 offensive line. Because that 2021 offensive line was legitimately the worst thing that my two eyes have ever seen. It's not even joking. 5 of those 6 players were out of the league the following season. It's
Isn't that
it's
freaking what's his
but
name?
here's
Jonah whatever. He's the only one from that line still in the league, right?
yeah, he's still starting and he's still terrible. But the thing
Dude,
that just
if you
I think
pull
he's
up
with the Cardinals.
the starters on that O line, I couldn't even tell you who some of them were.
All right, here we go. Lamont Gilliard, Quentin Spain, Jonah Williams, Trey Hopkins, and Riley Reef.
Who is Trey Hopkins and Quentin Spain? Like, are you kidding?
Hakeem Adeniji, Jackson Carmen, Isaiah Prince. Just all terrible. Yeah, there's another example of a wasted pick. Jackson Carmen was a second-round pick. I think it was the worst football player I've ever seen.
That
Like,
was an offensive line that we threw out there in the Super Bowl.
yeah. And do you know why? It's because the defense was really good.
That is true. The defense was very good. But like I
And
dude,
3
literally the
years later,
only
the
one
defense is the worst ever.
dude,
3 years later.
the only one of those offensive linemen that you named that is still in the NFL is Jonah Williams. Literally everybody else in that offensive line room is not in the league.
Yeah, it's but, like,
But I
you
mean,
like
seriously though, like there would be a handful of guys from this defense that probably would not be in the league.
yes, probably. But it's like you've talked about this a lot, like, it's just impressive how the Bengals have worked their way out of a Super Bowl, chance.
Yeah, they
And like I
deconstructed
said,
the Super Bowl team.
like 2 years, like 2, 3 years ago, their defense was a top 10 defense. And
Mhm.
now we're talking about them as one of the worst defensive units in the history of the franchise. Mind you, the Bengals are one of the oldest franchises in the NFL.
They
2 years later, we're talking about them as one of the worst ever. Like that,
not
how in the
even just in the
world does
franchise,
that
in the
happen?
NFL.
Like
I
how do you just mess that up that bad?
2 years
With Joe
removed.
Burrow and Jamar Chase.
They are one of the worst defenses ever assembled.
I think there's only 2 players from that 2022 defense that are currently on our team, and one of them just requested a trade.
Trey Hendrickson and Logan Wilson, right?
Yeah. Both actually have requested a trade in the last 6 months.
Both of them. Dude, this is bad.
It's
This
so
is
bad.
really bad.
It's like, honestly, for them to make major impacts on defense, because they're not gonna hit on their draft picks. I mean, like I said, they've taken 10 in the last 3 years, and all of them sucked. They're probably gonna
Until they
have to get rid of some of these offensive guys just to try to do something defensively.
I mean, dude,
Because
until they fix the front office, like until they fire the GM and get a new scouting department, nothing will change. That has been proven over the last
30
5 years.
years.
Yeah, yeah, more than 5.
I
Yeah,
mean, even
yeah.
going back to, like, the Marvin Lewis days, I mean, they were terrible, and they were doing the same stuff. I
Mhm.
mean, heck,
I feel like it's been
they ran
highlighted
Carson
though.
Palmer and Andrew Whitworth out the door.
Yeah. I feel like it's been highlighted more though now. Like in the
Well, yeah,
Burrow
because you have the best player in your franchise's history, and you're wasting him.
yeah, well, and you have Jamar Chase too. Like I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's like once every like era you have a good team because in 2015 that Bengals squad in 2015 that was a squad. Like that was a good football team, both sides of the ball. That was a really good team. 2021 we had a good team from top to bottom except for the worst offensive line ever assembled. But I mean,
But you wanna hear something that is crazy? The years that the Bengals have been really good and, like, playoff teams and playoff contenders, guess what? They had a top 10, top 12 defense.
mhm,
That's what it takes, and before the season, we were saying, "You don't even have to be that. You have to be average,
yeah,
average,
15,
and this team's a
15.
playoff team."
Mhm.
15 to 16 was all you had to get, and we're sitting here today, 8 weeks into the season, and they're at 32. It's remarkable.
Like, I mean, I don't even know like where we go from here. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I mean, okay,
I'm back on the just throw the season away draft, hope for a top 10 pick, and hopefully you hit it this time.
yeah, I mean, it's like okay, like from the defensive standpoint, like okay, obviously changes have to be made on the front office to actually fix this defense. Yes, but like for the rest of the like what do we do for the rest of this season? Like we just lost to the winless Jets. Like, I mean, are we still in play? Are we done? Are we playing for the first pick? Like, I don't even know. Like, I
I mean,
genuinely speechless after that game. I mean, I don't even. I
last
don't
week
even know.
we were going through scenarios on like how they can, get to that 9 to 10 wins. And, we said, "Oh, winning against the Jets, winning against the Bears
Mhm.
is, would be a big step." And I
Cardinals,
mean, the
Dolphins.
Bears, yeah, like I'm not even sure that this team could beat the Dolphins right now. The Dolphins suck. Heck, we might not even beat the Browns week 18, and they're
There's a real
also
chance of
one of
that.
the worst teams.
Mhm.
Like we were saying, okay, you probably have to split with the division, um, and then you have to win the winnable games. Like, I don't even know if they're gonna get the Bears. The
Mhm.
Steelers, I guess they're already beat, so they could beat them again. They're not beating the Patriots, that's for sure.
No, definitely not.
Lamar will be back against the Ravens. I would doubt we beat them. We're not beating
Nope.
the Bills.
Mhm.
Maybe we get one against the Dolphins, Cardinals, and Browns, but at this point, I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
I think every.
if the team Thursday night comes out, then I think we have a chance. But if the team that comes out like it did on Sunday, we're probably not winning maybe 1 or 2 more games.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say my only bright spot that I was gonna say, like, to top things off was that we are still only 1 game back in the division. The rest of the division really helped us out on Sunday by also sucking.
That is true.
Um, yeah, I mean, the Ravens won, but they're still a game back. The Ravens are 2 and 5. So what the standings in the division stayed the same, so we're still only 1 game back from the Steelers. That is the only bright spot, I think,
So that
because
Steelers game in a couple weeks could be big.
yeah, I mean, seriously, because I would like to say we still have some winnable games left, but if any game was winnable, it was last week. So I don't really know. I mean, like I just said, I don't really know where we go from here for the rest of this season. But the one bright spot that I do have after an hour's worth of terribleness is that is that we are still only somehow 1 game back in the division. So I take that as you will, I guess. I don't know. We're either playing for the division or we're playing for the first overall pick. I don't know.
Pretty wide swing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but we'll leave you guys on a high note with that. There's a chance to win the division, but obviously lots of things need to change. But uh, thank you all for listening to our hour-long rant. It was much needed.
Can't wait to do it
And
again next week.
yeah, and let us know what you guys think of the Bengals front office as a whole, and if you agree with some of the statements that we made today. But we really appreciate you guys tuning in, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And we will see you guys next week for another conversation about why the Bengals are the worst franchise in NFL history. See you guys.